Welcome back. So this is just the start of the presidential nominating process. Iowans, of course, play a major role. We're hoping that people come out despite the cold weather. With more on that and a host of other issues, I'm joined by former state senator Jeff Angelo. Jeff, thank you so much for being with us and offering your insight. We appreciate your time.
I'm just glad to be inside, Aaron, and glad to be with you.
Yes, you and me both. Very glad to not be a general assignment street reporter anymore. So let's just talk about the significance of this caucus cycle. It's different than what we have seen in cycles past in a lot of different ways. What are the top talking points for you?
Well, I think it has been very different because you've had a front runner, Donald Trump, who's been so far out in the lead all along and continues to be very much out in the lead. So if you want to be a legitimate challenger to Donald Trump, how do you spin Iowa once the results come in tonight? So you try to defy expectations. So going into tonight's caucus, the latest Iowa poll had Donald Trump 1 and Nikki Haley 2, Ron DeSantis 3. So if you're Ron DeSantis and you can finish second tonight, you say, okay, wait a minute. I've got the momentum, not Nikki Haley. I'm the legitimate alternative candidate to Trump. So if you don't want to vote for Donald Trump down the line, you need to vote for me. So it's all about expectations and then getting momentum out of Iowa tonight for the challengers to Trump, because Trump is going to win tonight.
Right, and every cycle we talk about turnout and the influence that it will have on what happens and what the final results will be. Things are a little bit different this time around for that as well when we're talking about the weather. So talk turnout and what you think the impact of this bitterly cold weather is going to be.
Well, I think that we're not going to see a record turnout tonight. I think we'll see hardcore Trump supporters. I think we'll see hardcore Republicans. But if you're a person that was thinking about caucusing for the first time, or you were kind of lukewarm to a candidate, maybe you were going to show up, you're not going to show up tonight. So I think that benefits Donald Trump. I do think he has the kind of supporters that would walk through a blizzard that will show up at a caucus site. I think the Ron DeSantis turnout operation is very impressive. I think he finishes second tonight. I think who the cold weather hurts the most is Nikki Haley. I don't think she has as robust a turnout operation as the other two do. And I don't think that her support is as enthusiastic or as rock solid as the DeSantis and Trump support. So I think after the caucus is over tonight, Nikki Haley tells the national media that the weather really hurt her in Iowa and she's off to New Hampshire.
Yeah, that is another one of the things that we've seen in polling, particularly that done by the Register and NBC News, is measuring enthusiasm, if you will.
Right.
And we know Trump supporters are enthusiastic, but how much of a risk is there, do you think, that people say, you know, he's got it in the bag, it's fine, we don't need to show up?
You know what? That is actually a legitimate risk. And the reason you and I know that is because the Trump surrogates have been saying it. They've been over and over coming on to media outlets like your newscast, my radio program, and saying, please don't be complacent. We need you. Please don't think that Trump has this in the bag. You need to turn out. And then, of course, Trump in Iowa yesterday says, even if it kills you, please come out and caucus for me. That's a unique caucus turnout strategy, but that shows you where his head is at.
Yeah, and then there is this business of the legal troubles that he is facing. And of course, a lot of this remains to be seen, in this whole question about presidential immunity. But his supporters really do not seem to care about any of that.
I totally agree. I think if you were to boil down tonight to its most basic essence, either you go to caucus and you think Donald Trump can win despite his personal troubles, or you don't think he can win because of his personal trouble. And therefore, if you don't think he can win, you have to choose between DeSantis, Haley, and there will be Ramaswamy supporters there tonight. But if you go to the caucus and you think none of that's going to matter, he's going to win, then you're all in for Trump.
Okay, we only have a few seconds left, but I'm really curious about this, Jeff, because I know you're close personal friends with Governor Reynolds, and of course we know she's thrown her support, which is important, behind Governor DeSantis. Why has he had so much trouble catching fire with Iowans?
I think because Iowa's a retail politicking state and people have to look you in the eye, shake you in your hand, and like you personally. I don't think he's really good at that, Aaron. I think he's better behind a podium, pounding the podium and giving you talking points.
Okay, interesting. We're going to have you with us throughout the evening, Jeff. Look forward to chatting with you more.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Aaron.